Korea is now really doing from an engineering standpoint. The China filters and membranes business is now probably the largest in the world if you look at from a regional standpoint, and a lot of the businesses in the process membranes area. Again, those would be some lessons that we could translate to Korea to help the business in process membranes grow in Korea. And then finally, the proximity, if you will, and the local leadership could help, further increase, if you will, our CMS business, particularly in sectors where we are not very strong in Korea right now. We thought that that would help. And so there are several reasons for this recent change. And it's not just one reason. All of this is really to make sure that Korea can help China grow and China can help Korea and the remaining, Japan grow. And eventually, ASEAN will also move into this greater Asia region. And so it's just a question of when were we going to do this. It was a matter of timing, if you will.
Yeah. One thing I want to add, I think it's an echo here. One thing I just add to, I think Hoshan has pretty much said all the reasons we're doing this. I think mostly we're looking at it from a business growth point of view. For me, I also think there's a lot of synergies where the Korea team can really help the greater China team to grow, because we see a lot of Korean enterprises in China where we are not able to sell into these enterprises. I think this is some good synergy here to even help the team here to drive some more commercial activities, especially with the Korean companies here in Greater China. So I think that's another positive aspect we can look at from this realignment.
Okay, thank you, Hoshan and team.
So, yeah.
Any other questions for us? Anything you would like to understand, know? And Sumoon, like you said, your questions were prepared. If you like, we can go through those questions that you had. Would you like us to go through those questions, Sumoon?
I think the Hoshan, you mentioned that the timeline for the reorganization. So at that you commented that the commercial team has high priority rather than the other function team. So this is another question for the timeline.
So we will start with the commercial team, as we said, both CMS and ES. The ES integration from a commercial standpoint will probably be easier just because the number of people are smaller. But both Tim, I, as well as Ish are very, very sure about one thing, that we will do this in very methodical and proper fashion so that we don't impact the business. And so that is why we believe that first the commercial integration, then we can slowly start sharing resources in terms of helping both regions grow. And then slowly but surely the functional integration will start. That's why we have a timeline which basically we've put together, which starts January 1st, 2019, and will go through 2019 up to 2020. And if it makes sense, is only when we will do it. The functional integration, we will be very mindful that there are certain things that we need to be aware of and certain things that we will have to maintain as is, as part of the integration, if you will.
Yeah, and I just asked Hoshan. I think even with the commercial, I think we use the word integration, okay? Sometimes the word integration may be a little scary. Really, the plan that we are looking at right now is really just to have Korea. I know we don't have a lot of people in Japan. Really, just to have it as a sub-region. Okay, it's not necessarily, we'll really, put everybody into our existing org in Greater China. We have a very similar setup. Just so the team understands, we have a very similar setup in Taiwan. So, our Taiwan is a sub-region in Greater China. We have a CMS team where they reported, to the regional leader in Taiwan, and the regional leader reports into me. So really, that's kind of that's the structure we are looking at. Okay, and just like Ho-Xiang is talking about with the functions, we'll take time. We'll take some time to understand, and we'll only do what makes sense for the business growth. Okay. And it's not something that we'll rush into right away, but for sure, there's some key functions, for example, like HR and finance, where we will probably get engaged a lot quicker than some other functions. Okay, so I just want to add that to what Ho-Xiang have said.
Okay,
Tim, we will share the detailed transition plan. Including the timeline, very shortly. We are just making sure that we discuss with the functional leaders before we share the timeline. So we will share this timeline with you very shortly.
Okay, thank you, Ho-Xiang.
Overall integration timetable.
Ho-Xiang, I think some function team has some curiosity for the organization of China because their managers should be changing. So if you can share the organization chart during the timeline, it is very helpful to understand China, the organization.
So we will share, we have prepared a sort of frequently asked questions, which we will share with the leadership team very shortly, which includes the China organization chart that you have asked for.
Okay.
Actually, Ho-Xiang, I can actually just share it now if the team would like to see.
Please go ahead.
I'm just going to share my desktop, so if you are on Skype, you can have a look at this. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Can you see it now?
Sorry, not yet.
Okay, no problem.
It's uploading.
Okay.
Yeah, just popped up. We can see your screen.
Yes, thank you, team.
Okay, very good. So look, I'll just share with you, this organization chart. So this is how we are organizing Greater China. So from the commercial side, we have the ES business. So our ES business, just so everybody understands the size of the business. So our ES business this year, we are looking at about 170 million orders. 170 million orders, about 160 million in revenue. Okay. So under ES, we have 3 lines, which is aligned with the global P&L. So we have products, GM, his name is Bruce, and we have projects, Rick. So under projects, where we will have the commercial team and also the engineering team. Okay. So in China, we have approximately 50 engineers. That includes proposals and execution. Where I think we can really support, some of the, like Ho-Xiang mentioned, the ZLD growth. As a matter of fact, I've been contacted about some Monster opportunities. These are things that we can certainly support out of China, much quicker, and we have this engineering capability. Okay, and then we have an ES service team where we are growing the long-term service agreements. This is kind of the new direction, where we want to get more recurring revenue. Okay, so on the CMS side, so Chao is our leader, and really our CMS our CMS is organizing regions. Okay, so in China we have 4 regions. So north region, northeast, not very creative. Okay, northeast, west, south. Okay, so we have 4 regions, and then we have Taiwan as a region under CMS, and then we have membrane chemical as a sub product line. Okay, and as I mentioned before, the intention for this new alignment is not to, for South Korea, it will be a sub-region, not under the Greater China sub-region, but more a sub-region at my level, okay? So basically, let me just be very blunt. Korea will report into me directly, okay? So on the function side, as you guys can see, we are very complete. Okay, we're one of the most complete regions in globally. Okay, other than the U.S. of course. So we have contract management. SQ basically, he's our contract management. He's also our liaison with the legal team, and he also is our ethics officer. Okay, and we have channel management. That's Catherine, and we have a digital team. Okay, Shirley is our digital team. So we are working on some really smart analytics with the technology team, and also we have a marketing communication person. Okay, I couldn't say a team. She's a single person team. Li Xiao is our marketing communication, and then in the dotted line, these are the functional teams. Okay, so we have Cindy as HR on my left, Carol on my right is finance. Wu Ming, she's a supply chain leader. I think a lot of you guys may know Wu Ming already. And by the way, we also have a technology center in Greater China. So Yan Rong is the technology team. We have about 40 people in the technology team here. And currently, our sourcing leader is Emma, and IT is Tony, and we have our EHS leader is Milan. So this is how we are organized right now in Greater China. So. Just want to share with everybody, and I'll open up if anyone has questions regarding this.
And just to answer the question, I think as Tim mentioned also, the Korea team will report directly into him right now. We will look at the functional integration later on. More importantly, the region is going to be called North Asia, or we will potentially just call it Greater China, Korea, and Japan. So North Asia parentheses Greater China, Korea, and Japan. The region will no longer be called just Greater China. So we just wanted to make that very clear as well, that we see Korea as a very big part of the North Asia region put together. And don't forget that there is already a very, very strong link in the purification and disinfection business between Korea and China in terms of the ozone business. So there again, that link makes it even a stronger connection from a sort of integration standpoint.
Yeah, and just so the team get more, please stop me if you have questions. You want to ask questions. I just want to introduce a little bit more about Greater China. So in the current Greater China region, we have over 600 employees. Okay, so out of the 600, about 200 is the manufacturing hourly employees. We have 2 factories, one in Wuxi and the other one in Tianjin. Tianjin is the P&D factory. So overall, we're 400 people. We have a technology center where there's 40 people there. Our CMS team is close to 180 people. Okay, our ES team overall is about 100 people. I think, with Korea, Japan in the fold, we will be probably getting closer to 700 people. And from a revenue point of view, orders and revenue point of view, I think we're going to be hitting close to 300 million. Okay, so that's the region, and I think with this combined region, my point of view is really for more synergy, right? Where we can help more, where we can help, and we're closer. And I think this help. I also want to really reiterate, this help is not just one way. Okay, I think there's a lot of things that the Korea team can help the China team. Okay, I already mentioned with the Korea enterprises here in China, and I also know, I know, on the ES side, TS Kim sells a lot of EDR systems in Korea. Okay, this is something we don't sell well, in China, and I think there's synergies there, and Korea is also working on food waste. This is something that we are not really working on here. This is something that I think this help is both ways, right? Like Foshan mentioned, we sell a lot of process membranes with special applications. I think this is something we might help. We might help. The help might be able to come from our side, right? So this is the kind of synergy that we want to drive. Okay. I will shut up now, and if the team have any more questions.
Tim, I have some question regarding to the China organization.
Okay.
In Korea, we have the separate EPC team, such as Jack and Daewoo. They are leading the local and the global EPC opportunity. So I think maybe Jack and Daewoo have some question regarding the planning for the EPC business from the Korean EPC companies.
Okay, Tim, this is James for EPC business at CMS organizations. So we have been working with Thai team right now. So, but from the next years, how should we work together for APEC business?
Oh, it's a very good question. I think continue. Okay, I think I fully believe. I think it's great that you have a Korea EPC team. I think Korea EPC is a business outside of Korea. Okay, this is part of the thing. I also need some help even in China because I know Korean companies and EPC does work here in China as well. So absolutely keep working with the Thai team, or Middle East team, whatever the Korean EPC goes. I think we need to continue to do that. Okay. As a matter of fact, we do not have this team in China. Okay. As you know, China EPC is also going abroad. Okay, with the One Belt, One Road initiative. So this is something that a good practice that we actually look. We are actually considering even in China we want to set up something like this. Okay. So to answer your question, I think there will be no change. Keep doing that. Help the global business. Asia Pacific business. With the Korean EPCs.
Tim, just let me just add. This also came up on the ES roundtable with Jack, who does a lot of work for the Korean EPCs outside into APAC or into the globe. I think, Tim, it doesn't change, Tim. I think you guys have a lot of EPCs here that not just work in Korea, but in Asia Pacific, but also globally. I think it's great to have that capability in-house to be able to help the whole business grow, not just APAC. So I think Tim definitely will make sure that continues. We're great supporters of it as well in the region, and Hoshan globally will support that as well. So I think we just keep continuing as we are and strengthen and maybe learn something from Team Korea on how to handle EPCs in the best parts of the world.
Absolutely. I think you definitely hit the nail. Like from my perspective, I think whatever helps the business, right? When I say business, the global, like we are a global team, right? So whatever helps the global business, it's fine. We need to do that. Okay.
And as part of my global role, there is a plan to sort of form a global new construction team as part of the CMS effort so that we can better connect licensors, consultants to form this global team to better leverage our, especially new construction. NALCO wins about 60% of the new construction projects, if you will, and then they get specified as part of that. So we want to change that, and that is why we are going to look at reforming the global new construction team as well.
Yes. So,
Any
any
questions? Sorry, Tim.
No, I was going to ask the same thing.
So when you said the team had a question on, I think, the product applications team as to JC's role and JC, the support, if you will, do you want me to answer that question?
Yes, some role such as the product application maybe overlap in China. So if a team can share the current Chinese the product application organization, it will be helpful.
Yeah. So basically, okay. So let me see if I can pull that up. Okay. I need to find it.
So while Tim is finding that, I'll answer some of the questions around the product applications because it's very important. Number one, I think China has a very strong product applications team, particularly for CPI. As you know, Mr. Park and Mike Hong in China have a very good relationship. So this will further help Korea and China in expanding the business because China is doing a lot of work in acrylonitrile, C3, other work, which, will help Korea. China also has some support for HPI, which would help Youngman and his team, if you will, from a HPI standpoint. In terms of the current days, JC will be focused yet on both Korea and ASEAN for the time being because ASEAN needs the help that JC provides from a boiler standpoint. As we look at integrating all three teams from a product application standpoint, we see really Asia, including China, Australia, New Zealand as one product applications team. We can best make use of the resources we have. We will look to see how we can share resources to really help all the regions. Okay? So that is what I wanted to make clear, that the support for JC will come from ASEAN, will come from China, it will come from other regions if necessary. The same, I think JC will continue to support boiler applications in ASEAN in the near future, and then we will see how best we can utilize the resources.
Okay, thank you, sir. I understand. But I have some question regarding the HPI PA because in APEC, including Korea, we are have been suffering from the lack of the local HPI PA support. So can you have the strong HPI PA in China?
Tim can answer that question.
Yes, we do have HPI capability in China. We have somebody named James. He's really focused on HPI. And the other one I want to add to what Ho-Xiang said. We have a PA team, but we also have, as I mentioned, we have a technology team. Okay. So in that team, we have very good domain knowledge in HPI, CPI, including some upstream. Okay. And also with water, with cooling and biocide. Okay. So with the technology team, we have about close to 16 people in that team. Okay, and we have a lab facility in Shanghai. Okay, so if you look at an overall business where we can support the CMS business from a product application, product development point of view, we in China right now we have over close to 25 people. Okay, in various different domains. Okay, I'm still trying to pull up the org chart, but I think the support. I think this is where the scale is going to help with more support. Okay, and I think, you know, our PA leader is Mike Hong, right? I think a lot of team in Korea knows who he is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Suwon, from we discussed this, but you will continue to look for HPI PA in Korea, Korea-speaking PA. Don't stop looking for that because the plan has not changed. We need to find that person in Korea.
Okay, I understand. Actually, the HR team is searching the candidate in the market. Yeah.
Right.
We'll continue. Yeah.
So hi teams, this is Seo Kim again. I'm also responsible for channel management in Korea, but I think we have not been growing fast in Korea. So in short list, I'd like to get some advice from your China team, especially Catherine Bruce, for channel market share increase.
Yes. So yeah, absolutely. I think from a channel management point of view, we can definitely share our best practice. Okay, and so just give you an idea about our channel business. Okay, so our ES products business, this year our ES product is going to be around $90 million. Okay, and our channels has grown maybe 10% year over year, and basically mostly it's from the channels. Okay, and we can share our best practice with you. And on the CMS side, we have we have close to 40 plus channels. We are, some channels are growing, some channels are not. So we are also working on, one is finding new channels, but two is really identify these channels where they have the passion and they are really good partners. We're trying to identify the good partners and grow them, and we're trying to identify some channels who are not a good partner and make changes. So this is what we're doing in China. For sure, I can link you with Catherine and what have you to help with that. And the second piece about channel management we do in China, this is where actually SQ1 comes into play. The other part is channel compliance, where we have to do a lot of the screening of the channels. So this is where the ethics, legal, compliance team takes over. They do the due diligence, go through the process, on SFDC or workflow to make sure we qualify the channels properly. Okay, so the support is here. We're more than happy to support. Okay, and again, I want to reiterate, it's not my plan to. I think the channels are different. Okay, I don't know the Korea business very well, so I like to get to know better before we do anything. But I think it's different. The China business, the channel business is quite unique actually. So it's not the goal to put everything together. It's more so to leverage the best practice between each other. Okay, and I think we can use some help with some channels to sell into Korea companies in China. I think this is one thing.
Okay, thank you teams for confirmations for supporting for channel business.
Okay. Yes.
Hello, team.
Yes.
This is Jack Lee.
Yes. Okay.
Hi. You said you have 40 technology people,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Correct.
In the teams, any resource can make engineering for conventional some waste treatment. It is quite beyond just blue team's engineering.
Our team in Greater China is predominantly blue team. Okay. However, we do have some conventional capability. Okay. So in our technology team, I mentioned 40 plus people. 16 is CMS. The rest is ES. Okay. And on the ES side, about 10 people is working on application development. Okay, like process development. Okay, not products. And then there's another 10 plus is working on products development. Okay, so my answer to you is not a definitive yes. Some conventional capability we can do, but if you say if we are fully conventional expert, we are not as expert as I will have to say the Greens, the old Dagmar Mound TIT. Okay. But the one other piece that this is maybe some synergy even with the bigger Suez group is that in China there is a 200 plus TI team in China, located in Beijing. Okay, so this might be some resource we can tap on. Okay, if you have this kind of needs.
So it means that, okay, another question is like TI or Sinopharm Water has been not integrated your organization.
Oh no, yeah, so we work, so as far as TI, so the way Suez BU is organized is, so the Suez has a business unit called Asia BU, okay, like Ho-Shang mentioned in the beginning. The Asia BU is really the the Greater China, Korea, Japan, plus ASEAN. Okay, so in the Suez BU, most of their business is in Greater China. Okay, and they have a Sinopharm and they have TI. So the Suez business in Greater China is actually another JV. They formed a JV with a company called NWS. Okay, New World. Okay, so the Suez BU activity in Greater China is called Suez NWS, is another JV. So we are two separate Suez business units in Greater China. Okay, so we don't report to each other. Okay, and we work together. We drive synergy. As a matter of fact, end of 2017, we were able to sell our ZV-1500 systems into the Sino-French operation. Okay, it's about a $4.7 million order for us. Okay, so there's a lot of synergy, but as far as reporting, it's separate. Okay, we are separately run business units. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
Just wanted to answer more on the technical capability. I know you do get support from the Singapore lab for analytical and other support. That support will continue, and you will also get additional support from the China lab.
Okay, thank you, Sean.
Hey Jack, this is Ish. On your question around requirements or capability on conventional, Team China follows the same process as we do in Southeast Asia. That is, bring it to a win call and the businesses get the appropriate expertise assigned to the deal if we want to pursue it. So that China follows the same win call process that we have.
Yep. Last question that you had, Sungun, was around marketing resources.
Yes.
Again, Mahesh will continue to support Korea. I'm not sure what marketing resources Tim has in China, but as we look at really integrating again the Greater Asia region, Mahesh will be supporting more of the Asia region from a marketing standpoint.
Okay, thank you, Sean.
Yeah, marketing. As you can see on my work chart, we have a marketing communication person, Li Xiao. She does a lot more. She does mostly internal and external. So we are also looking at expanding this marketing capability. Expanding into product marketing in 2019. This is both for CMS and ES. And also on the marketing piece is that we are leveraging the Suez BU marketing and communication team. Okay, so we work with the Suez BU. Just so you know, most of their resources are in China and Hong Kong and Macau, and they have a team of over marketing communication is a team, I believe, 12 to 14 people, and they also have a marketing team, about 3 to 4 people. Okay, so we are leveraging that. So we can certainly. As we get to learn more of the needs, we can certainly expand the coverage, okay? On top of what you have already, okay?
Okay.
Any other questions? Angman, Mingqiang, Kyangji, any questions for Tim, Ish, me?
I have a question. Maybe it's gonna be too early to ask, but question for finance. So as you know, our local team is kind of struggling for the lack of local resource for finance here. So do you have any plan, or we could share any resource for China in terms of finance? Could you share any plan if you have?
Why do you say we are struggling? Because we have hired somebody specifically to backfill this. So where is the struggling coming from? I didn't understand.
So yeah, some kind of voices from actually a plant, and so.
Sorry, from where?
From the Ixan plant, actually, when I had a round table with them.
Okay, this is the first time I'm hearing about that, so maybe.
I will have Carol maybe comment, but so from my point of view, I think, from a finance point of view, I think we are, currently we're in a time of transition, because the finance team, certainly I can see the finance team being very stretched, okay, because not only we have to do the day-to-day operational work, but we also have to work on the transitional aspect, like for example, leaving the GE TSA. So certainly we can, I can understand it, okay, and I think, certainly, we are here to help as much as we can, okay. If we need to add more resource, whatever, we will look at it, we will certainly look at it, okay, and for us, in my perspective, and is really to understand what the needs are, where are the gaps, and how we can, firstly, how can we leverage the bigger region, and second, if not, then where do we get the resource? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just to add what Tim just said, I think now between myself and Nance, we'll continue to support the Korea finance activities. But I think more importantly, as Tim mentioned earlier, that we can go look into more details on what needs are, where the gap, and we'll find the solutions. Yeah, better support.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Carol and Tim.
Thank you. Just before another question, I had put up our org chart for the PA organization. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you look at it, the way we're organized, we have the CPI and industrial process. So there's 3 people there actually. Okay, so we have Deng Cao as a leader. We have Wang An and Cao Ping. So Wang An and Cao Ping is actually a lot of focus is on MTO. And then we have a team that's really wastewater. It's not just purely wastewater. They also do MChem, cooling, wastewater, including dosing. Okay, and then we have HPI, one person, James, and then we have Jennifer in Taipei. She's kind of our guru with a lot of the internal PQ, SAP, getting products, product codes through the system. Okay, so and of course Mike is our PA leader currently. Okay, so this is how we the PA team. Again, on top of this, we have the technology team, close to 16 people. Okay.
So you can see a lot of resources, particularly for wastewater, especially someone and team.
Yes, I think this is fantastic. Yes, sorry. Especially we can expect more strong support for the wastewater application. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Any other questions?
So we've got one here.
SSD. Question, coalition team, ongoing project in Korea,
Yeah.
Other digestion and the summer project and other big projects connected Australia supporting and USA Debut supporting, office supporting. So my question is ongoing opportunities we will keep Australia supporting or the China supporting.
So I think the existing projects,
Yes.
as they are now, and the only person that supports out of Australia is Mike, who helps on the big development side, big management perspective. That'll stay because we have existing projects we need to close for the business. That'll definitely stay. Going forward, as we build out and look for future opportunities, absolutely we've got to look at how Tim's team helps us add value to those future builds. Ivana, do you want to add anything to that?
No, absolutely. I think SP. I think my answer to that is, what you are currently working on. I don't, especially when we are facing the customer, we don't want to in the middle change people, right? That's not the goal. I think whatever we're working on, let's finish it. With the current existing team. I'm sure, like Ish said with Mike and whatever, I'm sure we can support that. And secondly, going forward, absolutely, we'll, I think China definitely have a lot of capability to be able to support the Korea ES business. Okay, so the China ES project business is actually very similar to Korea. Okay, we sell a lot of UFMERs into the municipalities, into microelectronics wastewater. We have 9 ZLD references in China. Okay, where with the exception of one, the procurement, the equipment is built out of China for cost benefits, and also 70% of the engineering is done in China. Okay, also it makes us much more competitive. Okay, so I think this is part we can help. From anaerobic digestion, we have not done a project here in China, but we have a lot of engineers, and we actually have a bio lab in the technology center where we can actually segregate and analyze, food waste composition. So this capability is here. So I think, going forward with new projects, when you have these needs, I think we can definitely support out of China. Okay. And we also have a team in Taiwan, by the way. We have an engineering team, about 7 or 8 people in Taiwan. So our projects, and one thing I do want to say, I want to look at it is possibly also, if we're doing more of these type of projects and services, I think, it also makes sense to invest more resources in Korea. Okay, so that's something I will want to look at, when I get to understand the business more.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to learn more about the China capabilities about mega project, and I want to get more supporting to chasing these opportunities in Korea. And thanks, is the comment. It makes sense to customer and to our insight. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
There was a question about someone in your notes about revenue recognition for ES in Korea. right now, as you know, the revenue recognition is through the Singapore entity. That will continue for the time being.
Okay.
Yeah, I just add to that. I think, when it comes to entity, right? When it comes to entity, this is a lot of, because Carol probably knows more. There's a lot of, stuff with tax and stuff like that. So, I think that's something I think the finance team will figure it out. But I think for us, commercial team, we just do the business, right? Grow the Korea business, grow the ES business, where the finance flows, I'm sure the finance team will figure out the best, most efficient way for us to make the most money. I'll put it this way, okay? For me, let's just work together and see how we can do more business, on the CMS side, how we can grow grow the base, attack our competitors. On the ES side, how can we do some more mega projects? Okay. I don't know if we have a Japanese team on here, but even in Japan, I think we also have some opportunities there. Okay. That we can potentially grow, right? And we can leverage the broader team, because right now I know we don't have any scale in Japan right now. Right. Any other questions?
Team, Jesse Chung, who is our global digital leader, is staying in Korea. So we had the internal meeting and customer meeting. At the time, we shared the challenge of China for our digital the strategy, especially for the SRC implementation. So I heard that we have some difficulties to operate the SRC in China.
SRC.
He's talking about the digital center team we discussed.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I will explain the digital. So in 2017, okay, end of 2017, we localized the Insight. Our digital platform is Insight. So we localized the Insight platform into mainland China. Okay, this is for speed, and also is because this is also a Chinese government requirement. Okay, to have all the data in China, stay in China. Okay, so going forward, our Taiwan connections, all the Taiwan connections is not connected into the China server. Okay, the China server is strictly for the mainland China customer base. Okay, Taiwan is connected currently to the U.S. I think Korea is probably also, but we are building the Singapore center, right? So once that's online, all these will go to the local Singapore center. You will not come into China. Okay, China is just purely for the China customers. But with this said, we do have a digital team. Okay, we have a team that can support. We have a person that supports the Insight, because Insight system needs to be maintained. Okay, this bug. So we have someone who have the capability to support the Insight platform. We also have people who are working on developing advanced analytics. For example, we have developed a add-on feature into Insight for RO. We call it Smart RO. So this is different than what you see in the normal Insight. You just see lines. This one actually gives some analytics behind the lines. Okay, the module will clean up all the bad data, and it will analyze the data and give some advice. Okay, so we are actually using this tool not to sell membranes. It's actually use this tool to sell our memchem, okay, membrane chemicals, and we have some success. And we are also working on a smart UF, okay, because in China we have a big install base for UF and VR, kind of like what you have in Korea, with the SP. We're working on a smart UN. And this year, going forward, 2019, we're working with the PA team on a smart cooling system. Okay, so this is something that.
Yes, on the Monday meeting with Jesse Chung, we already had some meeting with my channel partners responsible for membrane chemicals to have trials within a couple of months.
Yes. Yes. So things like that, we will, I think will be. It's something that we can share what we have, the best practice, and if we're able to use it in Korea, absolutely, these are the things that's capable here. And we also have a remote monitoring center in Shanghai. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So as Tim mentioned, that because of China and the way that the digital, for Korea and maybe even Taiwan, as we have discussed with Tim, will be going to Singapore in terms of the digital signals, because China has very strict regulations on what data can come in and out. So there's no question that Korea will be, most of the digital signals will be going to Singapore.
Yeah, absolutely. Even with Taiwan. So once Singapore is up and running, it makes absolutely sense to go to Singapore.
Any further questions from the team? This is very important, okay, because we are doing this change to help both regions grow. And we have a very experienced leader taking over this whole region. Tim has been with the business for a long time. Tim has been in the region for a long time. And, with the transition that we are planning, which is very deliberate, which is very methodical, we hope to see both regions grow. And we are all vested in making sure that we take care of the people and the people grow as well. So Tim, Ish, and I are committed to making sure that we make this transition successful and that we make sure that the people grow with the business.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I'm just really looking forward to meet everybody in about 2 weeks. Okay, and for me, really learning. My first few priorities is really learning, and really supporting the team to grow. Okay, these are my top 2 priorities, in the short term. Okay, and again, please feel free to reach out to me. I am in the system. I think SW has my contacts. Please feel free to reach out if you have any needs. Okay.
Yeah, team, I just echo the comments from Tim and Hoshang. Look, we're here to make a smooth transition. We're 100% behind it. But also, we're not going anywhere. So you definitely have my number and Hoshang's number if help is required going forward. And Tim, myself, and Hoshang have worked a lot for a very long time. So we know how to make sure that the team gets the right support they require.
Okay.
Any last questions? Any thoughts? Tim, any final thoughts, words that you would like to add, or Carol or Cindy?
Yeah, thank you, Ho Xiao. Actually, we are very happy, to have opportunity to work with the Korean team, and looking forward to seeing you, I think, in a week of the 12th of November. Thank you.
Thank you. We're just looking forward to meet everybody.
Yes.
Same here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.